You know you did it right if you crush down on the instrument and white material runs out of the cervix. That was the baby's brains. Then you could pull out skull pieces. And you have a day like I had a lot of times. Sometimes a little face comes back and stares back at you. Congratulations. You just successfully performed a second trimester D&E abortion. You just affirmed her right to choose.
Did you hear the crowd when he finished explaining that? The gruesome shock of the horror. Unbelievable, really. Could you imagine? This Sunday in Austin, Texas, we will be out at the Planned Parenthood on 7th Street protesting government funding of abortion. Now, the good news is here in Texas, we have legislation moving forward to stop taxpayer funding of abortion. So we're one step closer to that, and we will be out at the Planned Parenthood on 7th Street this Sunday at noon, protesting the government funding of abortion. And at 2 o'clock, I will be giving a speech to talk about where we stand in this movement compared to the speech I gave last November. Was that October or November? When we did our last Planned Parenthood protest at the one on Ben White. And I said, here's the strategy. Here's how we can actually do this. And we've actually, it was just providential and maybe like some form of symbiosis of people trying to stop abortion right now. The legislators and the people actually attacking this politically did what I said needed to be done. And now we're one step closer to stopping taxpayer funding of abortion. So if you're in Texas or in the local area, if you want to come out, there's going to be a bunch of great patriots out there this Sunday at noon at the Planned Parenthood on 7th Street here in Austin, Texas. We'll also be going to the Texas State Cemetery at 10 a.m. that morning to do a flag lay. So if you want to come out for that, I will be there as well. But you just saw the clips of the Democrats ignoring questions on late-term abortions because they don't want to hurt their potential voters who love the death cult, who love abortion. It's really sick. But they don't want to offend them, so they're not going to comment. But if you want an idea, and be warned before we play this video, this doctor is about to tell you how a late-term abortion is done. So this was on Capitol Hill, I believe, yesterday. A doctor who has performed abortions explains the procedure of a late-term abortion.
Dr. Levatino has practiced obstetrics and gynecology in both private and university settings, including as an associate professor of OB/GYN at the Albany Medical College. And Dr. Levatino, we'll begin with you. Welcome.
Thank you, Chairman and members of the committee. I only have 5 minutes, so I'm going to get right to it. Second trimester D&E abortions performed between roughly 14 and 24 weeks of gestation. Your patient today is 17 years old. She's 22 weeks pregnant. Her baby is the length of your hand plus a couple of inches. And she's been feeling her baby kick for the last several weeks, but she's asleep on an operating room table. You walk into that operating room scrubbed and gowned, and after removing laminaria, you introduce a suction catheter into the uterus. This is a 14 French suction catheter. If she were 12 weeks pregnant or less, basically the width of your hand or smaller, you could basically do the entire procedure with this. But babies this big don't fit through catheters this size. After suctioning the amniotic fluid out from around the baby, you introduce an instrument called a Sofer clamp. It's about 13 inches long. It's made of stainless steel. The business end of this clamp is about 2.5 inches long and 1/2 inch wide. There are rows of sharp teeth. This is a grasping instrument. When it gets a hold of something, it does not let go. A D&E procedure is a blind abortion, so picture yourself introducing this and grabbing anything you can blindly and pull, and I do mean hard, and out pops a leg about that big, which you put down on the table next to you. Reach in again, pull out an arm about the same length, which you put down on the table next to you. And use this instrument again and again to tear out the spine, the intestines, the heart and lungs. Head on the baby that size is about the size of a large plum. Can't see it, but you pretty good idea you've got it if you've got your instrument around something and your fingers are spread about as far as they go. You know you did it right if you crush down on the instrument and white material runs out of the cervix. That was the baby's brains. Then you could pull out skull pieces. And you have a day like I had a lot of times, sometimes the little face comes back and stares back at you. Congratulations, you just successfully performed a second trimester D&E abortion. You just affirmed her right to choose.
Did you hear the crowd when he finished explaining that? The gruesome shock of the horror. Unbelievable, really. Could you imagine? And that's what the Democrats want anybody to have access to. You know, there's just so many things that can avoid that from happening. And it's just sad that that's what we fight for. So many different ways. But nope. You gotta be able to literally tear the baby limb from limb and then crush its head when the day before you felt it kick. How can anybody stand for that? And see, we're so out of touch with our humanity that some people don't even care. Doesn't even affect them. Honestly, I wonder how the average leftist radical Trump hater that goes out on the streets and shouts for abortions, I wonder how they would feel about that video. I know it made me nauseous. I know for a second I had to kind of choke back some tears because that happens thousands of times a year. And, you know, I'm sick of seeing this whole, well, what about all the kids in foster care? What about all the orphans? Well, what about them? Well, so we have people in foster care? Yeah, that's sad. So we should rip babies limb from limb in the womb? That's your logic then? And then again today, when I saw this stuff, I didn't want to cover it on Monday. I even said so. And people were kind of confused. They're like, why did you step back from the Robert Smith billionaire giving all that money for student loans out to the Morehouse graduates? I said, because I couldn't believe the response. It was so politicized. I just didn't even want to touch it. I couldn't believe it. Now, Ocasio-Cortez says college students shouldn't need donation from billionaire to afford college. Well, okay, sure, they shouldn't need it, but most of them need it from a bank. And it's all about not letting capitalism win. That's what it's all about. It's all about saying, no, you can't have capitalism to solve problems. You can't have a free market to solve problems. You cannot have independent individuals making a success of themselves and then paying it forward for others to make success. You cannot have that Western free market. You cannot have it. You have to have the government to do it. So here's the catch-22 for dummies like Cortez. If you don't have the capitalist system, you can't afford college anyway. See, that's the irony. You think there's a good education for people seeking college degree for the average high school graduate in Venezuela? No. Now, as far as the system of higher education is concerned, it's pretty much almost worthless now anyway, aside from a couple practices. But See, you're not allowed to have a free market. You're not allowed to be Robert Smith and give your billions to charity or help college graduates because that's the government's job. The government was supposed to do that for you.
Infowars.com. We're all Alex Jones. Go to Infowars.com. Forbidden information. Infowars.com. I just don't think I have the energy today to do fourth hour. I just don't think I can do it, guys.
Owen, I'm getting sick and tired of your BS during the breaks today. Been bitching all day off air. I'm tired of being a damn cuck. Will you just take some of the cuck package that we got here and just fix yourself, man? Fix it. I'm sick of it.
Okay, I guess I'll try this. Super male vitality. All right, I'll give it a try. Says 2 droppers. Okay. Super male vitality, huh? I don't know. I mean, I'm not totally feeling it yet. Let me try this Alpha Power from InfoWarsStore.com. 2 Alpha Power supplement pills here. I guess I'll just try this Alpha Power too. Maybe this will help. Alpha Power, huh? I think I'm starting to feel something, but this super male vitality Alpha Power combo, I think it's starting to kick in. Ah! Yes! Yes, I feel the power now.
Infowars.com! Tomorrow's news today! For better information, this is an Infowar! 1776 will rise again!
That's right. I have been uncucked. It's the Total Cuck Cleanse at InfoWarsStore.com. Quit being a cuck and take the Total Cuck Cleanse from InfoWarsStore.com. First, the Super Male Vitality. Then, the Alpha Power. And then the Cuck Cleanse begins. Take back your male vitality with the Total Cuck Cleanse at InfoWarsStore.com. That's right. Toxic masculinity at its finest.